Oh, her warning.
Yeah, this is a girl who says that man
well,
has trouble.
This did happen to me, and it was a he. And I went right ahead and married the guy, and it was Garrett.
And please hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it means a lot to me. Everyone knew Lucille Ball as the sharp, flame-haired genius who built Desilu Studios and reshaped television forever with I Love Lucy. But power handed her something far darker too, a front-row seat to behavior the public was never meant to see. Fame didn't just open doors for Lucille, it pulled back curtains, exposing sides of Hollywood that cameras never captured and press never printed. Before she died, Lucille quietly revealed 7 actresses she believed weren't just difficult, dramatic, or misunderstood, but genuinely cruel in real life, not on screen. These weren't rumors passed through gossip columns. These were moments she witnessed, absorbed, and carried with her for decades. Some of the women were co-stars. Some were Hollywood royalty, worshipped around the world. Every single one left Lucille with a story colder than the last. And sitting firmly at the top of that list was Joan Crawford, the so-called Ice Queen who unsettled Lucille Ball in a way no one else ever managed to do. Lucille worked with demanding personalities her entire career, control freaks, perfectionists, ego monsters, but Crawford rattled her to the core. To the public, Joan Crawford was elegance incarnate. Razor-sharp cheekbones, diamonds flashing under studio lights, posture so perfect it looked carved from stone, the very face of old Hollywood glamour. But Lucille saw something else entirely. She saw a woman who wrapped cruelty in couture and mistook control for class. She once muttered quietly to a friend, "All she has is glamour. Underneath, there's nothing but ice." That wasn't bitterness, it was a verdict, and Lucille meant every word. The breaking point came in 1971 during Crawford's guest appearance on Here's Lucy. From the second Crawford stepped onto the lot, Lucille felt the mood shift. Instantly and unmistakably, Crawford demanded the studio temperature be locked at exactly 68 degrees. She insisted her chair face a precise angle. She ordered lighting adjustments to sculpt her bone structure like she was chiseling herself out of marble. Lucille didn't protest. She'd dealt with demands before. But what followed crossed a line she couldn't ignore. A young wardrobe assistant, just 22 years old, handed Crawford a dress with a barely visible wrinkle, something most people wouldn't even notice. Crawford didn't calmly point it out. She detonated. Witnesses heard her hiss, "You are a useless little nothing. Toilets would be lucky to have you." The words cut like glass. The girl ran off sobbing, shaken to her core, while Crawford coldly demanded she be fired on the spot. No hesitation, no remorse. Lucille flat out refused. And that refusal sparked a silent war. Cameras rolled, and Crawford flipped a switch instantly. Suddenly she was charming, warm, gracious, sparkling like she lived for applause. The moment the red light clicked off, she froze again. Stiff, vacant, mechanical. Lucille later whispered, "I've worked with department store mannequins who felt more human than her." And that wasn't sarcasm. It was a diagnosis. To Lucille, Crawford wasn't just cold. She was acting human instead of being human. Lucille believed how someone treats people without power exposes their true character. By that measure, Crawford failed completely. That image followed Lucille to her final days, the woman she quietly labeled as truly, unmistakably evil. Then there was Judy Garland, a completely different kind of darkness. Lucille never pretended otherwise and never softened her words. When Judy's name came up, Lucille's face didn't harden with hatred, it sagged with exhaustion. Garland's damage didn't come from ice, it came from chaos, a chaos that swallowed everyone standing too close. Lucille knew Judy from their MGM days. She admired her voice, her soul, her tragic brilliance. She understood why audiences adored her, but she also saw what fans never did, the wreckage left behind every time Judy touched a set, missed call times, shaky arrivals, entire production stalled because Judy simply couldn't show up. Lucille once said quietly, "Judy was magic, but magic that burned the stage down, and everyone nearby felt the heat." Garland wasn't cruel for sport, but her instability carried a heavy price. Crews waited for hours, schedules collapsed, budgets exploded. People tiptoed around her moods, praying today wouldn't be another implosion. Lucille understood pain, but she never excused destruction. To her, chaos could be just as damaging as cruelty, and Judy's chaos left scars that never fully healed. One memory stayed with Lucille forever, lodged deep, impossible to shake. A television director from the 1970s once told her about a shoot that perfectly summed up Judy Garland's chaos. Garland was scheduled to arrive at 5 a.m. sharp. The full crew showed up, grips, lighting, camera, makeup, all standing around in the cold morning air, coffee in hand, waiting. They waited for hours. The sun climbed higher, patience wore thin. And at 2 p.m., Judy finally arrived, radiant, apologetic, glowing like nothing had happened. She delivered 30 flawless minutes, pure brilliance. In that short window, she reminded everyone why she was a star, and just as quickly, she declared she was exhausted and walked out. The next morning, 3 crew members were fired because the production went over budget. That story never left Lucille, not because of jealousy, but because she understood the cost. She survived Hollywood by being reliable in a system built to discard women without mercy. Watching extraordinary talent leave ordinary people paying the price felt unforgivable to her. And that belief shaped how she judged everyone who came after. And waiting. Judy didn't arrive until 2 p.m. When she finally walked in, she was radiant, apologetic, glowing like nothing had happened. Then she delivered 30 flawless minutes, pure magic. In that short window, she reminded everyone exactly why she was a star, why people bent schedules and budgets just to have her presence. Then, just as quickly, she announced she was exhausted and walked out. No argument, no negotiation. The next morning, 3 crew members were fired because the production had blown its budget. That story burned into Lucille's mind, not because of jealousy, not because of moral grandstanding, but because of scars earned the hard way. Lucille survived Hollywood by being dependable in a system designed to chew women up and toss them aside. She showed up early, prepared, professional, every single time. Watching Garland waste an extraordinary gift while innocent workers paid the price felt unforgivable to her. She said it plainly at a private dinner. Talent doesn't excuse destruction, and with Judy, someone always got destroyed. Lucille never confronted Garland publicly. She didn't lecture or shame her. She simply chose distance. Quietly, deliberately, she avoided working with Judy again. When Garland died in 1969, Lucille mourned the brilliance, but not the turmoil. Judy wasn't evil by intent, but the damage she caused was real, deep, and impossible to ignore. Then came Ava Gardner, a different beast entirely. The woman Lucille Ball once said was savage beneath the skin. What kind of person makes Lucille Ball admit she believed Ava enjoyed hurting people? That woman was Ava Gardner. Ava carried something sharper than chaos, beauty sharpened into a weapon, mixed with cruelty. Their tension didn't start with confusion or rivalry. It started with Ava targeting people she considered beneath her. Lucille saw it firsthand during a mid-1960s MGM wardrobe fitting. A young assistant nervously handed Ava a freshly steamed dress. One tiny seam had softened slightly, barely noticeable. Ava stared at the girl and said slowly, "Don't bother fixing it. You can't fix incompetence with more incompetence." The room froze. The girl stood humiliated, shrinking in place. Lucille felt her chest tighten. This wasn't diva behavior. This was domination. This was cruelty for pleasure. Later, Lucille told a confidant, Ava didn't make mistakes. She made victims. And it didn't stop there. At an industry cocktail party, someone casually mentioned Lucille's name. Ava smirked and said loudly, "Oh, the washed-up clown, is she still working?" The room gasped. Ava didn't flinch. The insult landed sharp and deliberate. Lucille believed Ava's beauty blinded people to the rot underneath. She once told a friend, if she hadn't been beautiful, no one would have tolerated who she really was. They never reconciled. Ava's beauty aged into legend, but Lucille's memories aged into disgust. And even in her final years, whenever Ava's name appeared in a magazine or documentary, Lucille would mutter the same bitter sentence under her breath, every single time. People had no idea who she really was behind that famous face, Bette Davis, the untouchable talent everyone worshipped. Lucille Ball didn't. Lucille once said Bette cut people for sport, and she meant it without exaggeration. While Hollywood bowed to Davis's performances and called her fearless, Lucille privately asked one sharp question that never left her mind. Why does she enjoy hurting people so much? That question said everything. Lucille didn't need time to warm up or make excuses. The hostility was instant, sharp, electric, unforgettable. Their worst encounter erupted at an industry dinner in the mid-1960s. Lucille sat only a few tables away when Bette zeroed in on a young waiter who had accidentally brought the wrong wine. The entire room went silent as Davis snapped, "Do you even know how to read a label, or is that beyond you?" The words sliced through the air like a blade. The waiter apologized again and again, voice trembling, shoulders shrinking with every second. Bette didn't stop. She lingered on the humiliation, stretching it out like it was part of a performance she was enjoying. Lucille watched, stunned and angry. This wasn't stress or a bad mood. This was deliberate cruelty, slow and calculated. Later that night, Bette spotted Lucille across the room, raised her glass, and smiled in mock friendliness like nothing had happened. Lucille didn't lift hers. She didn't smile back. She had already seen enough to make up her mind. Afterward, Lucille told a friend something chilling. Crawford was cold, she said, but Bette enjoyed inflicting the wound. To Lucille, that enjoyment was unforgivable. She respected talent relentlessly, lived by it. But she despised anyone who used power to crush people just trying to earn a paycheck. She once said, "Greatness should protect people, not break them." That belief never wavered. Bette and Lucille were never friends. Same city, same era, same elite Hollywood circles. Yet they avoided each other like oil and water. No screaming matches, no public feuds, just distance, silence, and refusal. Even decades later, when Bette appeared in tributes or retrospectives, Lucille declined joint interviews without explanation. The verdict had already been delivered long ago. Then there was Zsa Zsa Gabor, the woman Lucille Ball said was fake down to the bone. When her name came up, Lucille didn't sigh or roll her eyes. She laughed, not nervous laughter, amused disbelief. Lucille didn't fear Zsa Zsa, didn't envy her looks, didn't resent her spotlight. What she despised was the fraudulence. To Lucille, Zsa Zsa wasn't dramatic or spoiled. She was a walking performance. A woman who weaponized charm while treating people like disposable props. Lucille's disgust ignited at a charity event in the late 1960s. Cameras flashed as Zsa Zsa floated in, draped in diamonds and furs, smiling like royalty. The room buzzed with attention. The moment photographers disappeared, the mask dropped. A volunteer politely guided her toward a table, doing their job with respect. Zsa Zsa snapped instantly, "I don't sit with peasants." Lucille witnessed it from across the room. That one sentence sealed everything, but it got worse. Minutes later, a young volunteer, barely 20, accidentally brushed Zsa Zsa's coat in the crowd. Instead of a simple correction, Zsa Zsa leaned in and whispered, "Sweetheart, touch my coat again, and I'll make sure you never work an event in this town again." It was delivered with a sugary smile, like a favor instead of a threat. Lucille felt her stomach turn. To Lucille, that smile was the most dangerous part of all. Cruelty wrapped in charm, poison dressed as perfume. Lucille felt sick. That smile disturbed her more than shouting ever could. Later that night, she vented to a close colleague, "Nothing about her is real. Not the accent, not the elegance, not even the kindness." To Lucille, fake kindness was worse than open cruelty. A fake person could disarm you. A fake person could fool the world. And Zsa Zsa never changed. Decades later, when she slapped a Beverly Hills police officer in 1989, Lucille wasn't shocked at all. She simply said, "There she is, the real one." In Lucille's eyes, the most dangerous kind of evil wasn't loud or angry. It smiled while it stabbed. Now that you've heard the names Lucille Ball revealed, which one shocked you the most? Do you think Hollywood still hides people like this today? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your take might surprise others. And if you want more untold stories from classic Hollywood, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what Vintage Pulse channel uncovers next.